Nsem-Pii TV nie.
Dennis Miracle Abuaje, the current communications team manager for the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign. It is possible campaign, breaking the 8 campaign. And Nsem-Pii atudra. First, congratulations in cry, not on pet. Congratulations, because none near brepa no kasa to certain things a course for Council of Elders meeting and an alliance of 9 I shall say against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia obi ensem so pa after the well-known veteran Hackman also agimande ensem etudra ono nso abeka Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as part of the story na in sema or the two say establishment you say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the establishment candidate or say establishment and no cry anything establishment then say members of parliament di wechi establishment then say MCs di wechi and our regional chairman di wechi omo enye members of the New Patriotic Party ana omo ye members of the New Patriotic Party inti omo be di wechi na obi ka say establishment bi enye ku a ewo in the party inti sankrofo no obi nya ya nkope we nya nti or friend establishment Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia oye the flag bearer obetime leading the New Patriotic Party and inti na sankrofo no edinichi inti establishment na omo ka no ya de pa edi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia echi osanso bo alliance of 9 in sema omo ka centralization and decentralization in sem o say na complaints omo raise say omo ntimi embobo sika no enya 16 agents on the day of the election inti yenka omo mboma o say ntimi raise resources ntimi mpopo nsa no emfa nkrofo mbembobom at various areas regions and koso in election you have no business being the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party na ni ambrepa you have no business being the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party because ejuma no enye fedi agro ni yama eniema ye mememe say yenye ne centralized na yamfa agent baby fa ko se na ye bo no be form na wetimi aye say ejuma no eso otimi mobilize no mo nam kwan so krapo omuduru baby na obi afre so fuel station bi okonongo mo kofele tank san crofo no mo support the New Patriotic Party oden sem to so osanso to aso say untimi ntria o delegates and also untimi share delegates across the nation inti yenka omum no mom fa kambra embeto abamawa sa asem ne de enkebida eno na alliance of 9 for kokan say instead of delegates for no mobile coordinator amato abama flag bearer no omum fa kambra baby fa akono yenkoto aba o say eno ne de according to the constitution need the one super delegates no no problem bi amba ho nti na enwu hia bi asede nsacharaye bia ebebem na osanso ka say election na ebekoso no period of just 3 hours spent and as 2 hours be na the better servant because 1000 for the electoral commission be simple cry at various regions into omombo amo yen fan semni na free Miracle Abuaje ano yenkoti ono ankasa ne nsema odetudwa efa alliance of 9 MPP Council of Elders Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the way ani abre o say omo person mo bowra other alliance of 9 mo campaign managers kura no mo bedom Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign team no ma break 8 enye fedi agro kura no mo dedi djuma na obi kura ti se bo abia sama kura omo nya na kura betima communications member ama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia yenkoti ya Miracles Abuaje Nsema odetudwa.
Okay, let me engage Miracles Abuaje and let's see if we can have a stable one with lawyer Yabobian somewhat pretty shortly, and then we get back to him. Miracles, can you hear me? Good afternoon to you.
Hi, Annie.
Hi.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Right, and congratulations. I haven't spoken to you after your appointment as the communications person for the Vice President's campaign team. So congrats.
We are in this together, Annie.
So Miracles, first, let me start with you on this note in terms of what regards the allegations that the establishment is in support of your candidates, which is why the party seems to be taking decisions along his choice of what he wants. How do you respond to this?
I really don't know who put out that falsehood and that narrative, because Anani, I'm sure you know very well that the party hasn't taken any decision towards the choice of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said it from the past 3 days, and I think I granted several interviews to state his position that he is not in favor of or against centralized voting. He only decided to not stampede the National Council with his views, because he believes that with this particular process, he is a candidate, and as a player, you cannot be a referee in the same match. And so he decided to leave the decision making to the National Council, which is quite well represented, because the National Council is made up of several sects of our party. And so it's very, very consultative. And that's what he said from the onset. Again, if you look at the decision that has been made by the National Council, you realize that nothing new has been introduced for it to be in favor of anybody. 2015, when we had the presidential elections, there was a special delegates congress, or special delegates elections, which was done across the 10 regions. So if in 2023, we're having a special delegates elections, and it's being done across the regions, I don't see where somebody is favored. In fact, if there's anybody who is going to be favored, it's actually going to be the one on whose behalf the process will be changed for. If there's an existing status quo, and then it is changed for me, that is when you see that I'm being favored. So those who are advocating for changes in the status quo are the ones we can actually rather accuse as trying to seek for certain things to be done in their favor. But as it stands now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hasn't caused anything to be done in his favor. Nothing has changed. It is the same MPP processes that were done in 2015 that we're experiencing again in 2023. And I think that is what it is. The issue of the establishment, I don't know what the establishment means, but whatever the establishment means, if what we are hearing is what they mean, that a lot of party people, a lot of party functionaries are supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, for which reason they call it establishment, so be it. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wants even more people to come. This morning I was granted an interview and I told them that as we speak this weekend, we're actually going to pursue campaign managers of other candidates and give them reasons why they should come and support Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Because we are really serious about winning election 2024, and we are not going to leave anyone behind. We are going after every police station executive. We are going after every constituency executive, regional executive, every member of parliament, every minister of state, every CEO that has a vote. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to go after these people to make sure that they come support him so we can win these elections resoundingly. And we are not leaving anything to chance.
So Miracles, if you look at these 9 aspirants who were all, singing one same voice, they have been with the party in terms of critical politics or politicking. They know the nuances of politics. So even though there's a system that the party has used in the past, if you take Alan Nsem-Pii, for example, Kennedy Ejapong, Emmanuel Ejakon, they've all been in the system, Kuredwa Preku and all. They know what it costs them. So when all of them being majority asking for a change in that, I think that's fair. That's because they've been, typical party people, and they understand how it works, as compared with the vice president who started doing critical politics 2015, 2016, when he was selected as vice presidential candidate.
The vice president hasn't taken any decision, and the vice president hasn't actually posited any position. The vice president hasn't requested for anything. The vice president says whatever decision the party takes is going to comply. So it is not the 9 against the vice president. That is not the case. It is not the 9 against the vice president, because the vice president hasn't really advocated for any position. Again, the true majority are the numbers that took the decision at the National Council yesterday. It's interesting for you to know. The National Council didn't just say that you petition this and then we are throwing it away. The National Council actually voted on each of the proposals that were made by the 9. And just so I give you the figures, at the meeting on the issue of centralized voting, 73 of the National Council members voted no. They believe that the system as we've always been running, which was actually implemented by one of the aspirants who was the General Secretary then, Mr. Kwabena Ejapong, should remain. 73. 9 out of the members present at the National Council meeting said they wanted centralized. So if you go into a meeting, which is hugely representative, highly consultative, because you have regional reps there, you have members of parliament present, you have former general secretaries there, you have former chairman there, you have council of elders there, taking a decision and voting on that decision with overwhelming majority. It was 73 against 9, deciding that nothing should change. I wonder what you mean by majority.
But one of the reasons that has come up has to do with the cost of managing the delegates, and that's if you decentralize it. And the argument has been that since vice president is still vice president, his movements is still taken care of by the state. Maybe there's a difficulty as to where to draw the line, but we know that, I mean, if the vice president is moving, the vice president is moving. So he naturally will probably pose indifferent about whatever decision that's taken. I'm for any decision. But when you are not in, for want of better expression, in an advantageous situation, you will watch your step as to, how to move. And so probably that's why he hadn't stated what his position really is. But he was not with a 9 in any way, in any case.
Okay, so let me address the issues this way. First of all, the vice president didn't have to be with a 9. Because his view is that the National Council is more representative, more consultative than 9 or 10 people. And so the party should take the decisions around conducting the elections. And I think if you look at it, the fairest of all is his view. Because if we are to impose our personal and individual opinions and views as to how things should be done in an election that we are participating, it will be chaotic.
Yeah.
10 people, they want things to be done differently. It will be chaotic. That's why the vice president wants to subject himself to the decisions of the party. And so if your interpretation or anybody's interpretation is that the party for who you want to lead, or the party on whose behalf you want to be the flag bearer, is taking decisions overwhelmingly in favor of one, then it should tell you that you probably have no business wanting to lead the party, because the party doesn't want you, if that is your interpretation. Again, the decision is not for campaigning purposes. Annie, if you're a candidate and you've been able to go around the country and campaign to people across all the regions, and then on an election day, you need 16 agents to be your agent at a polling station, and you say you cannot do it because of cost. Are you being truthful? Are you being realistic? You have been able to move around the country, 16 regions to campaign. But on the D-Day, when you need 16 people to be agents for you, you say, oh, that is too costly. Is that more costly than you moving around the country, 16 regions to campaign? Or is it the case that these candidates are unable to move around the 16 regions to campaign? You have no business to lead our party if you cannot mobilize resources to be able to campaign across the country to your own party people. You have no business. But if you can be able to move around the country to campaign to us and ask for our votes, but on the day of elections, 2 hours, 3 hours of having your agents to represent you, you can't get them from within the party, then you are not qualified to lead our party. Then you are not ready. You are not popular. You don't have the resources to be able to mobilize and lead us into a serious elections. You are out. And that is very important. Trying to be a flag bearer of a political party is serious business. You need to have the wherewithal. You need to have the right networks. You need to have the right human capital. You need to have the right resources. So when we talk about resources in politics, it's not just about money.
Yeah.
Even your ability to raise the money is also a resource. When we moved from here to Kumasi, on our way to Kumasi, we received a call from a private individual. He says, I hear you are coming to Kumasi. I have a fuel station at Konongo. Please, when you get to Konongo, turn there and fill up your tanks. You get to a constituency, you have 2 or 3 people coming together and say that